After Polka's brave and selfless actions, the internet is buzzing with reports of bizarre happenings, such as sightings of walking skeletons and a giant skeletal arm. Amidst the chaos and confusion, Misaki remains calm and intrigued by the unusual events. Their attention is caught by Polka's entrance into the room. He blows a whistle and a swarm of skeletons immediately come to his aid in packing. The group watches the spectacle with fascination. Takumi is surprised that Misaki is so at ease around someone who had previously taken her life, but she seems unfazed and even excited by the experience. Polka's actions make Takumi think about Misaki's odd behavior, but he changes the topic to express his surprise at learning that Clarissa owns the abandoned building. Polka, aware that his move may be an inconvenience, thanks Takumi for his help with settling in. Polka is grateful for his new home, which is filled with ghosts that provide him with the magical energy he needs. He used to belong to someone who had a family to take care of, and even though he can only recall their names, he decides to send them postcards to let them know he's taking an extended vacation. As he recovers more memories, he realizes that he may be in a different world, although the creatures here are similar to those in his own. One thing that makes him feel relieved is that the Geldwood religion doesn't exist here. Polka shocks Takumi by revealing that in his previous world, he was considered a monster that needed to be eliminated. Takumi had seen his massive skeletal form firsthand when he first gained his powers. Misaki finds it fascinating that he was once known as the corpse god. Polka hopes he can finally find peace, but right now, his priority is to find out who orchestrated his assassination. Takumi and Misaki don't know who tried to kill Polka, and Clarissa can't reveal the culprit due to her professional code. She gives Polka a floor in the torture building to use as his home and base of operations. Polka plans to investigate on his own, but he may resort to pressuring Clarissa to speak if necessary. Takumi is surprised that Polka trusts Clarissa's promise not to take any more assassination contracts targeting him. He worries that Polka is too trusting, given the seriousness of the situation. Takumi ponders the complex network of middlemen involved in hiring assassins. He realizes that Clarissa is only one of many. Takumi doubts that anyone else has the ability or resources to take down Polka. He briefly considers the possibility that the lemmings might be involved, but quickly dismisses it. Takumi raises a question about Misaki's presence around Polka and wonders if he's comfortable with her, considering she had ended his previous life. The corpse god reveals that the original Polka had asked him to forgive her, and he feels compelled to honor his wishes. Takumi is amazed to learn that the corpse god had communicated with the Polka spirit. Corpse God seeks Takumi's permission to continue using the drones as Polka's vessel until he finds a permanent substitute. Polka considers various professions to make a quick buck, and Misaki playfully suggests that he could excel as an assassin. After effortlessly neutralizing a threat, Misaki reconsiders her assessment. Suddenly, they are interrupted by an unanticipated guest who discloses that hitmen are after him and implores Misaki for assistance. Misaki hesitates to accept the request, but Polka volunteers to help, which motivates her to agree. The informant shares that the hitmen are hiding in an abandoned warehouse. Additionally, the informant reveals that they had partnered with someone Misaki had previously eliminated, indicating her former comrade. Without delay, Misaki charged ahead, only to fall into a well-planned trap. She was confronted by a group of attackers with metal bars, but she effortlessly overpowered them while still trapped. After breaking free, she quickly subdued her attacker but was then shot from behind by the person who had asked for her help. The man revealed that he had also worked for the person who killed Misaki's parents, and they had organized this elaborate scheme to avenge their former boss. The corpse god then revealed that Misaki was now a zombie and impervious to a gunshot wound. With ferocity in her eyes, Misaki unleashed a relentless attack on her attackers, turning the tables with lethal force. Meanwhile, Takumi contacts the corpse god to inquire if he had anticipated the treacherous turn of events. The corpse god explains that he had only granted the request of the vengeful spirits of the children, who were victims of the gangsters. With his massive skeletal hands, he crushes the gangsters and debris, promising the spirits that he will prevent any further harm, including to their parents. The spirits move on to the afterlife. The corpse god refuses payment, as the job holds sentimental value for him. On their way back, Misaki is amazed to see her gunshot wounds already healed, a testament to her new undead state. The corpse god looks away as Misaki examines her wounds. Curious, Takumi asks why the corpse god chose to listen to the children's spirits, despite seeming indifferent to human life. The corpse god explains that although he sees human life as toys, he still takes responsibility for their well-being. This realization deeply affects Takumi, as he understands that their contrasting views are centered on their perception of toys, not life itself. Questioning his own past statements and line of work, he starts to doubt if they are the ones who are truly wrong. He contacts Clarissa and shares important information about the corpse god. Afterwards, he confronts Clarissa about her promise to cancel the order to eliminate Polka. Clarissa reassures him that she intends to keep her word in this specific case. Meanwhile, the gangsters gather at their armory, planning a retaliatory attack. To their surprise, they find the armory completely looted by the notorious lemmings. In a casual conversation, Polka reveals to Misaki that vampires existed in his previous world. Misaki expresses her fascination with becoming a vampire, and Polka admits that he could transform her if he had enough magical energy. While observing their playful exchange, Takumi wonders how long their pretend games will continue. Nonetheless, he feels content, as he had grown tired of his old routine. Elsewhere, Clarissa indulges in a massage, contemplating Polka's apparent affection for children, which she perceives as a way for him to manipulate others. Suddenly, her phone rings, and it's her client demanding Polka's elimination. Clarissa demands more information about the target, but the caller reveals that Polka is just a high school student. Displeased with this revelation, Clarissa cancels the contract. Meanwhile, Ray apologizes to a group, explaining that he can't pay because he had no idea a single beer would cost 60,000 yen. At another establishment, Ivan sits at the bar, complaining about the poor practices of the place. The bartender nods toward a notorious joint in the neighboring building, suggesting Ivan might find satisfaction there. Ivan's spirits lift, and he shifts the conversation to Clarissa, although he remains somber. When he learns she's working the midnight shift, he attributes it to the chaos that seems to surround her. Despite the bartender pretending not to know, Ivan catches hints of gossip among the staff about sightings of skeletons. Feeling bold, he becomes a bit sassy, attracting the unwanted attention of the security detail. Meanwhile, Takumi's curiosity about Misaki's physical state is evident, a testament to his insatiable desire to know. In his enigmatic manner, Polka explains her remarkable ability to self-heal and resist the effects of time, making her virtually immortal. Additionally, she reveals newfound strength and reduced sensitivity to external influences. Advising Misaki on severe injuries, Polka suggests consuming raw meat. Interestingly, her saliva contains a potent paralyzing compound, enhancing her already impressive abilities. She decides to test her powers by biting Polka, which quickly paralyzes him. Misaki playfully asks if Takumi wants the same fate, but his lack of interest in women who view a kiss as a reward. He solidifies his perception of Misaki as a powerful and formidable being. Meanwhile, paralyzed Polka wonders if there are superhumans in their world, similar to legendary hero. The local police diligently investigate the area where Polka defeated the gang members. Suddenly, an enigmatic figure named Lemmings, wrapped in bandages, emerges from the shadows and effortlessly destroys a large boulder. However, as the authorities rush to catch him, he mysteriously disappears, leaving behind only the lifeless bodies of the defeated thugs as proof of his existence. Ray, who couldn't pay his bill earlier, gets into a fight with some scammers. Even though Ray is outnumbered, he fights hard and defeats his attackers. As he defeats them, he receives an unexpected call. At the same time, Ivan, who was drunk and looking for Clarissa, gets a call that makes him very angry and disappointed. He storms out of the bar in a rage. Meanwhile, Takumi is still very curious about Polka's world. Polka tells him that their society uses a decimal system like theirs, and most people have 10 digits with some variations. Takumi is amazed by the similarities and wonders if their worlds are connected somehow. As Polka's paralysis wears off, Misaki notices that her new ability to paralyze others is very efficient and saves her nails. Polka agrees, saying that incapacitating enemies in different ways is very valuable. Takumi is very impressed with Polka's skill at disposing of bodies and agrees with her. Polka reveals that although the gangsters are alive, their mental abilities are likely severely impaired, making them unable to testify. He ensures they won't harm anyone again, effectively stopping their wicked acts. As luck would have it, Ivan and Ray are both members of a special investigative team that deals with mysterious cases beyond normal explanation. They are amazed to find that the thugs they encountered possess an unusual human square knot that they have never seen before. Their expertise in the field makes it unsurprising that they were the first to be called in. The team initially suspects the enigmatic Lemmings, the wicked Grim Reaper, and the formidable fire-breathing bug. However, they recognize that the current situation doesn't match their usual behavior, prompting them to consider a new suspect. This brings an end to our episode. If you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to subscribe our channel, aniexplainer.